Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Bandai S.H.Figuarts Ken and Sakura from their Street Fighter series. For all the amazing figures coming out of Japan, click the link in the description below to head on over to Big Bad Toy Store. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, if you follow the channel, you know that I do love my Street Fighter, and I do have the previous Ryu, Akuma, Chun-li and Cammy from this series. And after seeing the photos of Sakura and Ken, I knew I had to have them in my collection. I do prefer these over the Storm Collectibles versions, although I do like the chunkiness of the Storm Collectibles. It's probably a bit more game accurate, but I do like the posability and sort of consistency across this series of characters. So I'll quickly go through the accessories. I do like this flaming fist for Ken, which is for his Shoryuken move. You can just connect it to the fist there like so, and have him doing his Shoryuken move, which is pretty nice overall, and it fits quite nicely. So and it's doesn't feel like it's going to do any sort of damage to the paint there. So I do like the translucent plastic that they've used there. It does come with a couple of faces here. So this screaming face, I'm not too particularly keen on it. The eyebrows are a bit overdone, I think, but I guess that is his style. This one is just a straightforward face, but I do like his smirk here, which I think is a bit more in character for him. I guess with the face, it is a tad light in color, so you can, I'm not sure if it's picking up on the viewfinder there, but it is a lighter shade than the rest of his skin tone, which is a shame. But I think that's the only point of issue that I have with the paint application. Everything else is pretty good. Swapping out the face is pretty easy, so there were no issues there. And swapping out the hands weren't too big of an issue either. I do like this finger pointing hand of his, which is a part of that move or that pose of his from the game. It does come with a couple of other hands here, which you'll see. Just the fists that are standard out of the box, and then the open sort of Hadouken type hands. So I think that's very similar to Ryu. For Sakura, you do get a couple of face plates as well. So this is her sort of shouting face, which I won't bother using. It does have the sort of smiling or bigger smile version, and I've just gone with the sort of standard sort of schoolgirl look, and she does pose very well. The other accessory, of course, is this Hadouken of hers, which is slightly larger than Ken's, I think, Ryu's, sorry, and I think that is pretty game accurate. You can sort of hold the button from memory from Street Fighter 4 and make a larger Hadouken. So the mix of the paint on the front there and the clear plastic looks pretty good, and I do like that they give you this little stand as well to make it posable like that. But for the articulation, I think with Sakura here, I think they've done a fantastic job, particularly in the ankles here. So in the ankles, they've actually molded in a gap at the front here and a gap at the back, so you can get a range of motion, and the ankle will split open at the shoes just like they would if she wore them for real. So they've done that really well. There is the beautiful ankle rocking motion there, and there is also a bit of a foot articulation there as well. So I think overall they've done a fantastic job with her feet, and as always the paint application is fantastic as well. The knee joints, I think they're very similar, if not the same, as Chun-Li's, so they don't look too bad. I think the ones that they used on Cammy were pretty terrible, but I'll probably grab her off the shelf and have a quick look after that. The only bit of articulation I don't quite like, she can have her legs out quite wide, but there is no rotation, so you don't get too much of her legs sort of facing outwards, which would have been a bit better for some of the posing, I think, but you can get her legs quite a way forward and back, so they've done pretty well there. And this skirt of hers is a soft plastic, so there's no sort of restriction in the articulation there. She's got lots of motion around the waist there. I think, I'm not sure if it's a double joint there. Looks like there might be a separation underneath there. There's definitely two joints, one at the lower part of the neck and at the head here, so she can get lots of motion in the head there. With the arms, the shoulders do get a little bit blocked up the top there, but overall you can still get some pretty good range of motion there. And then you get the rotation. I think there's a separate rotation there as well, and then the usual wrist articulation. So I think overall they've done a fantastic job, and that sculpt on the hair and the outfit just looks fantastic. So overall, really happy with Sakura here. And Ken, pretty much the same as Ryu. So if you do have the Ryu figure, you'll know what you're getting. The double sort of joint at the neck there, so you can look down quite a long way, and he's got lots of tilting action as well on the head, which is very fitting for him. And the arms, I love the articulation in that sort of, there's like a double ball joint in there, and there's the butterfly joint, so you get lots of range of motion. The double jointed elbow, I think, yes it is, so lots of articulation there. And then of course in the legs, love that they're quite a bit firmer than I remember Ryu being, which is good, so you can get him into lots of firm poses without fearing of any collapse there. And the knee, lots of articulation there. And again with the feet, you do get the little toe articulation and the usual ankle rocking and so on. So love the articulation overall. And overall the outfit again is the nice sort of soft pliable plastic, and it all sort of gels together pretty well. So I might just grab the others off the shelf and pose this up and give you guys a look at the gang that I have. Hold on. Alright, so here is the gang of figures that I have so far in this series. So I have stuck to the classic characters from the game, and not some of the new ones that they might have done, like I think they released a Rashid figure as well, but I'll stick to these ones. And I think Ken and Sakura fit in perfectly. I do love the way these two look together, the master and the student. And I think overall, I think they've used the best parts of Chun-Li and Cammy for Sakura, so they don't have the terrible knees of Cammy in there. And Ken, again, they've pretty much taken on the best parts of Akuma and Ryu and redone that for Ken here, which is fitting for the character. And together those Shoto characters look fantastic. So I'm glad that they're continuing with this series. Hopefully we get some more announcements soon on upcoming figures in their Street Fighter series. But for now, hopefully you like that look at Sakura and Ken. Hopefully you can click that like and subscribe button. I am just about to shoot my Hot Toys Royal Guard review, so hopefully you can subscribe and stay tuned for that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.